Hello, you're listening to episode 291 of the Small and Supercharged podcast with Ria Freeman. Well, I am delighted today to be joined by Laura from Smoralicious. That's correctly how you pronounce your brand, isn't it?
It is, yes, Moralicious.
Which just says, actually, kind of salivating inducing anyway. And I've been following you on Instagram and I saw a really cool post I have screenshot that I wanted to talk to you about. But let's start telling us about how you became as obsessed with marshmallows as you are.
Oh, it is really like the completely accidental journey, to be honest. So in 2020, during lockdown, I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, and I had her in September 2020. And after I had her, I suffered with postnatal depression. So I decided, look, I need to do something to try and pull myself out of this, something positive and something that I could do as well. And my friend suggested to me, look, why don't you start making s'mores kits? Because that Christmas, everybody seemed to be making s'mores kits. And I thought, "Ugh, I'm not one bit creative. There's no way I could do that." And my husband just said, give it a shot and see. And he was the one that actually came up with the name Smoralicious. So I said, right, okay, we'll just go for it. Created Instagram, Facebook, and put some things up for sale, and they started selling. Things started selling out every time I put them up. And we live on the farm with my mother and father-in-law, and they just thought this was hilarious because they're in their 70s, they're farmers, and they had never heard of this before, and they just thought, this is so funny, this will never last beyond Christmas. And
Mhm.
you know what they say, whenever somebody tells you you can't do something, you just work that little bit harder. So it came to the January and it was still busy. So I decided, right, I'm going to give this a go because I had nothing to lose. Basically started £30 investment, and right, okay, we'll do it. So started off with just s'mores kits, and then down the line, people were saying, could you make your own marshmallows? But I've never made a marshmallow in my life. Don't know how you would even start. Left it until the following Christmas and gave myself a goal of, right, in between the Christmas and New Year, we will try and make marshmallows. So made a few batches. First was a complete disaster. It just was a runny, mushy mess, and thought, I can't do this. But I was like, no, right, we'll refocus, we'll do it again. And we done them and they turned out perfect. And people loved them and the feedback was incredible. So started making marshmallows out of all the things that you could make. And then just grew and developed from there, and developed marshmallow fluff as well, which has been on sale for coming up on a year now, and it has went viral on TikTok.
That looks insane. I was watching you do recipes over Easter with like the Easter egg and stuff in it, like coffee, or I think made like a hot chocolate with and then you put the fluff on the top. Oh my, honestly, it's actually salivating. This is
It's
a
so
problem.
versatile. You can use it for so many things. So I became friends with a really great creator on TikTok. Her name's Amy, and our fluff went viral on her page. And then obviously the coming from that, then it has been selling out every week for a year, which is unbelievable.
Wow.
Um, which is led to collaborations with her and other people, and just progressively growing the business and developing and just getting better and working hard.
Awesome. So now you've got the small kits, and now do you use your own marshmallows in those kits?
Yes, so we rebranded in August, rebranded, and the vision was to create something really high end that you would treat yourself to, or that you would give for a gift. So I had a vision of, I wanted this really nice box with a ribbon. I wanted the whole unboxing experience where you have the lovely tissue paper, and then the lovely like heavy items inside, so like glass jars for the sauces, the lovely feel of the pouches, because I think people, when they're spending that little bit extra, they want the really
Mm.
luxurious high-end experience, and I wanted it to be that, not just thrown together in a box. So rebranded everything, the whole business. And then the s'mores kits were, of course, our own marshmallows. That was non-negotiable. It had to be our own marshmallows, everything handmade. So yeah, got finally got what I had visioned in my head, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out.
Amazing. And obviously this is a kind of a lockdown project. And now now I'm guessing we're in 2024. There's no turning back now.
No, definitely not. Like, if you had told me in 2020, whenever I started this, that it would go this way, I would not have believed you at all. And even if you'd have told me at the start of lockdown you'll be starting a business, and that I'd be like, no way. But I absolutely love what I do. I absolutely believe in our products. I know they're the best, and I just really want to get it out there. And I have so much passion for what we do, that I just want to keep growing it and just trying to get things out there and grow it for my family as well.
Mm. So how has it developed? I mean, did it start off at home in your kitchen?
Started off on the kitchen table where we're sitting at now, on this kitchen bench, then moved over into my in-laws' house. They've got a bigger house, so took over their utility room, um, totally gutted it out and had it for like just packing, because at that stage I wasn't making anything. And then it just kept growing and we didn't have any rooms. So invested in like a converted garden room and put it out the back, for packing and doing everything. And it just felt at the time, "Oh, this is massive. This is so big." Now it is not big enough. And there was
Wow.
no space. So started making the marshmallows in the kitchen in the house. And just as things were getting busier, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't make them in the house and live in the house. It was just overwhelm all the time.
Mm.
So in July last year, I invested in a complete kitchen unit, which, because we live on a farm, we had the room. So it's like a container unit converted, purpose built as a kitchen, to food standards, to their grades. So yeah, it's great. And it again felt massive, but now it's like it just, oh, I could do with double the size again, which I think happens to everybody when they're trying to grow their business. You never have enough space.
It's exciting though, and it's great that because you live on a farm, you have got that scope to grow and develop without having to like buy new premises. I know you've obviously had to buy a building, like a but you know, you've got that scope, haven't you, to grow and evolve and develop.
Yeah, I'm really, really lucky and really fortunate where we live, and that my in-laws are really laid back. And they've said, yes, they've allowed us to be able to do this. My husband works at home as well, so he's a mechanic, so he has his garage here too. But I'm just incredibly lucky and very fortunate that I am able to put the stuff on our own ground, as so to speak.
Mm. I bet the kids love it as well. I mean, my kids are obsessed with anything marshmallowy, and I don't make them. I buy them. So I bet that you're like God in your house with the kids.
The youngest one is obsessed, the toddler, and she calls it the marshmallow house. So
Oh,
she has to go out to the marshmallow house, and she loves them. She loves them.
bless
The
her.
older one, the teenager, you know what teenagers are like. You get a mixed reaction from them sometimes. But there's a couple of products I've made recently, and she has absolutely loved them. She said they're the best things that I've ever made, which to me, that
Wow.
speaks volumes, because we all know you don't get much out of teenagers.
No.
So cookies and cream fluff is her favorite.
Ooh.
The
Ooh.
lotus biscoff marshmallow egg is her second favorite. I was so proud.
Wow, you've made us all the other reviews don't matter. You've made
Your
it
When your teenager tells you you're doing something right, you take it.
completely. So thinking about your journey, obviously all businesses have kind of highs and crushing lows at various points. Have you had any kind of lows along your journey so far that you would be up for sharing, and perhaps also like what you've learned from them?
Well, I've had a couple of things happen, that have been really, really testing. So whenever I rebranded last year, that was probably the most stressful experience that I have ever had. I can't talk too much about it at the minute because it
Sure.
isn't fully sorted, but um I absolutely love what was created for the brand, but the people that I picked to work with probably were not ideal. And the fact where they did print some packaging, a lot of packaging at a big expense, and printed it all completely wrong.
Right.
Um, and there was no responsibility taken for that. And at that time, it was in August last year, it really nearly broke me. It really affected me mentally. And I just was on the verge of giving up because I just thought I cannot do this. It was just so stressful. Luckily, I have made online friends with a lot of very supportive women who really had my back and really pushed me through. And I just thought, if I can get through that, I can get through anything. And it's really about building the community of support that you have when you're building your business as well, because those are the people that really are your cheerleaders and get you through. Obviously, along the way, when you're product-based businesses, there are people who copy, there are people who try to stand on your toes, and you get that in any business. And what I say is you just ignore them, let them get on with it, because they'll always be a step behind you, and you just have to keep pushing through and don't worry about what anybody else is doing.
No. And what do you think from particularly the first experience you had with the rebrand, that the kind of the learning from that is the community, is the time you put in to nurture those connections?
Yeah. I think whenever you're building a community online, you do need to spend your time getting to know people. It's not about going on and doing a post and then coming off. You need to engage with people, you need to get to know people, you need to put out your experiences and let people share theirs, and that's how you get to know and build the trust and build your community, because people love to know who they're buying from. We're not Tesco's, we're not Amazon, we're human beings at the end of the day, behind a screen. We're making something that we'll love and putting our heart and soul into our business, and I think people really appreciate that. So I think the people that I have met online, and I have met quite a lot of them in real life as well, have become really good friends. It's incredible, the people that you come into contact with and meet. And I know you're an SBS winner as well. And even the people you meet in that community, and you're going
Mm.
to the event every year, it's just amazing. And it really builds you up and really, I don't know. I don't know if you're the same, but especially after the SBS event, you always come away feeling super motivated.
Oh, hugely, like, absolutely, kind of think, "Oh my god, I can do anything. We can all
Yeah.
do anything." And it's awesome because I think often when you work for yourself on your own a lot, it is lonely. Like, it is a lonely journey. And then when you get to know all these people who are on a similar path to you, obviously different businesses, different stages, but the energy is electric from those places. And you come back going, "No, it's brilliant. Rah, I've got this."
Yeah, definitely. And it's those like-minded people who want you to succeed, and they want to push you on, and you do the same for them. Because like there are a lot of people who don't want you to succeed, and
Mm.
there's a lot of people who don't push you. But whenever you find your people, and your gut feeling is always right. And even your customers that turn into your friends, that are your biggest cheerleaders. Like I would go live on TikTok quite a lot, and you have your customers, you have your people coming in that join all the time, that are your biggest cheerleaders, and you're just going on, like you feel like you're just having a chat to friends sometimes as well, but they're the ones who are spreading the word about your business and bigging you up, because you're giving them like a really good friendly service. I don't know what I'm trying to, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You're connecting with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't get that from a big corporation or brand.
No, you don't. You don't. You get the stuff that you want arrives, kind of
Yeah,
no frills, no extras, which is
yeah,
fine. I mean, some things that's a great way to receive them. But
yeah.
when it's a bit more special, when there's a story, and like a lot of the things that you do, like the s'mores kits, that's something that you do with your family. It's like an inclusive activity that you do as the thing. It's not just a commodity. It's not just like, I don't know, buying flour, which is probably, I don't know what, I don't buy like huge amounts of flour. Um, but it's more than a functional product. It's an experience, isn't it?
Yeah, and what I say is you're buying that as an experience to create memories with your family or for whoever you gift it to create their memories as well. And it's something that can be used by all ages as well. So your young children, your grandparents, everybody's going to be able to use it. We have gluten-free options, halal, vegan, dairy-free, so we're trying to be inclusive to everybody. And people find it fascinating, especially the older generation that don't know what it is, because I think a lot of the young ones now know what s'mores are,
Yes.
whereas the older generation just find this completely, what is this? This is so brilliant, something new. And
Yeah.
plus, it gets people sitting, talking off their screens, off their phones, and they're actually sitting, engaging in conversation and having a bit of fun together.
And that's it. The last time I had s'mores with my kids, my marshmallow caught fire because, like they do, it wasn't like dramatic, but the kids thought it was absolutely hilarious that they'd done theirs perfectly and mine had caught fire every time. Because I was doing, but they thought it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, things have caught fire when I've been cooking before, but we've never had that much laughter, and it was very like inclusive. People are sat there trying to make it work, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
Um, it is a different experience, and because not everyone knows about it, like I was telling my father about it, and he was like, "A what?" I was like marshmallow that's warm and gooey in a chocolate sandwich with biscuits." And he's like, "Oh, that sounds good." I was like, "Yeah, it's really great." No, I think and it's a talking point, isn't it, as well, and how you make yours and what you do with them, because you use the, lead you can make them with what are they called? Leads those biscuits, the chocolate with the biscuit. We'll call
Yeah.
them that, which is so cool because you haven't got the bits moving around then. But it's really fun, and it's something that, my kids loved and, nagging me to do again, and it's a really nice thing that in a world of, like, video games and iPads and not other tablets and the digital world, actually, they really want to do something that's quite hands-on and chatty and fun.
Yeah, definitely, because they spend so much time on screens and to get them off. And like as you say, that marshmallow catching fire, that's a memory that they will probably have going on. And in 10 years, 20 years time, I look back and go, do you remember that time we done that? And because that's something that's going to stand out. So, what I want to do is create a really lovely experience that you'll remember, especially with like your grandparents and stuff. Like my father-in-law thought this was hilarious whenever I started, and he calls them Smurfs. He calls them Smurfs. He always has. And we would be big barbecuers in the summer. And every night we would have barbecue. He'd say, "Go and get those Smurf things." So he's not a big sweet tooth person, but he loves them, and it's just a real novelty. It's something like they love doing as well, and it's fun. It's
I
fun.
love that. And on to the highs of the journey. Obviously, you had some amazing highs along the way and definitely loads more to come. But are there any that really stand out for you?
I think one of the biggest highs definitely for me was winning SBS, 100%. Being recognized by somebody like Theo and being picked as an SBS winner was incredible. Still is. And when you see the competition to be picked and you hear the statistics, it is
Yeah.
mind blowing, because I was picked when we were in the first year, and I think the percentage is really low for that, which felt amazing. And then doing spring fair with SBS as well. That was another
That looked
incredible experience.
incredible. So this was part one of the did you get a free stand?
Yeah, so every year they do a competition for SBS winners to apply for a free stand for Spring Fair. So there's 12 stands. I think competition's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Your application, and then yeah, we applied the year before, and I'm really glad that I didn't get picked because we hadn't rebranded at that stage.
Right.
Super grateful that I didn't get picked because it pushed me to rebrand as well. So got picked and went and done Spring Fair with 11 other incredible businesses, made brilliant connections, great friends. We had an absolutely brilliant time. Obviously met contacts as well. Theo came, had a chat with him, and the first thing, which I will always, always remember, the first thing Theo said to me was, "Your branding and your packaging is first class." I
Oh, you
thought,
you can't get better than
"Wow,
that.
I must be doing something right if Theo, someone who was on Dragon's Den, is saying that." Like, that just gave me so much confidence. So to be acknowledged was amazing. I'll never forget that.
What was it like at Spring Fair? Because it's a busy event, isn't it?
Busy. It was long, but it wasn't long. So the days were long, but it went so quickly, went
Right.
super fast. There are so many people coming to it. It is absolutely massive. And it's just a big learning experience. Big learning experience. It gave me a good grounding now for taking the business in another direction, which is going into retail, which is another direction that we're going for now. So it taught me a lot for that.
That's really exciting. Now, one of the reasons I'm going to get my phone up, I mean, obviously, this is podcast, so people can't see that. But if you think, what's she doing? So there was a really cool post you put up, and it's not actually about your business. It was a reel, I think, that said, I'm giving up. And I thought, oh gosh, this is a bit dramatic, because I think you've just been to like Spring Fair and all this stuff. I'm going to read it if that's okay. It says, this is my 2 weeks' notice. For almost 4 years of hard work to build my biz whilst raising a family and being a wife, I've never really shared how tough it is to navigate it all. However, something occurred to me a few days ago. The me from 10 years ago would absolutely jumping for joy at everything she's achieved, not only with my accidental business, but most importantly with my family, the man I always dreamed of, and the children I always longed for. The marshmallows are a delightful bonus. Reflecting back to the girl of 10 years ago, I was a single mum to a beautiful little girl, stuck in a job I hated, not really coping inside, and longing to build a better life and family unit for my daughter. Fast forward to the woman I am today. I'm extremely grateful and blessed with an amazing husband, two precious daughters, and freedom within a job I absolutely adore, thanks to the amazing people who support my small business. So then you kind of think, why is she quitting? And luckily that's when you said, so what am I quitting? Worrying about social media. Low views, new Instagram updates, the numbers and chasing those viral posts. Why? Because in the grand scheme of things, they really don't matter. What matters is connecting with you, making us laugh, and shouting to the world about how amazing our marshmallows and s'mores really are. That spoke to me. Um, in big ways because I mean, I do a lot with social media. I advise people on social media, and it can be so disheartening for everybody when you do the work, you know your audience, you put up a strong post, and it just flops. And there's no rhyme or reason. It's not a bad post. Sometimes posts are just naff, and that's why they do badly. But it can be really consuming. So, what made you put that post up? What drove you to that?
I think, well, obviously it was a trend going around, and I'd seen a few people doing it. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a test to see if anybody actually reads anything on social media, because we all know people don't read anything, and to see how people respond and see if it actually goes anywhere. After Christmas, I think everybody had been experiencing, especially on Instagram, views were low, like algorithms have changed. They have been doing something to Instagram which is blowing everybody's mind, and people aren't being seen. And I sort of thought, why am I worrying about this? Why am I consuming so much time and worrying over Instagram when I don't really need to, because the business is doing well. Instagram's just this tiny little dot in a massive picture. I think we forget that, and I think we forget that there's a lot of other things that you can do with your business, to have it pushed out. So I thought, right, I'm gonna do this post, and I'm gonna write it. And I wrote it, and I wrote it out again, and I wrote it again and again and again. I thought, oh, I can't post this. I can't post it. So I sent it to my friend, and I thought, I said to her, should I post this? And she went, absolutely, just post it. So hit the button on, I knew a Friday morning would be a good morning to put it out, and I put it out, and so many people did not read the post. Didn't read the
Oh,
post.
really?
And I had so many messages, so many DMs, so many people started to panic buy as well.
Oh
Uh,
god. Oh god.
Not the intention. And in the comments, there was a lot of comments, why are you giving up? And I was like, please read. I had a friend message me like within 2 minutes of me putting the post up. She hadn't liked it, she hadn't done it. She's like, why are you giving up? Please tell me you're not quitting. I'm like, go back and read the post, go back and read it. So when people did actually read it, then they seen what it was about. But yeah, it got people talking. Got people talking.
But I think it's a really good point to acknowledge because social media is really it's really hard.
Yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of people, whenever they read it, said the same. They actually read the post and they read what I was trying to get at. And I was like, it's not about giving up the business or anything else. It's about giving up worrying. Why do we worry so much about Instagram? And then I think, like, was it before, just a couple of days before that, or a couple of days after that, Instagram actually went down for a while. And I was like, hallelujah, a couple of
Mhm.
hours off, you know, that we don't have to stress about it. But yeah, I think a lot of people do feel the same, especially business owners. They do
Yeah.
stress a lot about Instagram in particular, and it's only one platform.
But I think sometimes people, small businesses particularly, because you can, well, as you said, you can go viral on a social media platform and it can transform your business
Mm.
in like minutes. And people go, right, that's my marketing strategy. My marketing strategy is solely based on this one platform because people go viral on it. And then you put something up and it doesn't go viral. And you put something up and it doesn't go viral. And at that point, people go, well, oh, I don't have a business. I can't do this. And that's not, it shouldn't be. I mean, I always say to my clients that you can't build your whole business on a thing you don't own for a start. I mean, as you say, when they crash, you're offline. If that's the only way you're running your business, you can't communicate with your customers, you can't promote anything, you can't make sales, you can't do anything. But it is a way, I think, because I mean, I'm not blaming the pandemic for this. Many things in the world I am blaming it for. But if people put up ideas and people bought them in the pandemic. People went, oh, this is easy. You just put something up, people buy it. That's a business. But that's not a sustainable long-term business. And that's not the only way you should be contacting your customers. And I think that can sometimes be wrapped up in this as well.
Yeah, I think the pandemic was a different way of doing business. And a lot of people started their business during the pandemic because people were online spending a lot of money. And then we got out of lockdown and things have changed and business is back to the way it was before. And so many of those businesses now don't exist because they didn't have any other strategy other than Instagram and selling
Mhm.
online. And I think to continually post with the I'm gonna go viral, I'm gonna go viral is like definitely the wrong mindset. Um to be honest, I actually dread the day that I do go viral. I really do. And the reason I say that is because there's so much hate online as well. And I just feel that when people do go viral, they get so much backlash as well. And it's not all about sales at the end of the day. So yes, you could get it really lucky, go viral, sell a ton of stuff, but then you might never make another sale again. You
Mhm.
know, I think being consistent and just posting, talking to your audience and working on the other things that you work on your website, your email list, and all that other stuff is super, super important. And if one of your posts happen to go viral, it goes viral, you know, and hopefully you can deal with what that brings. Um, we worked with a creator over Easter and his post went completely viral, and our product was in it and it was incredible for what it brought to me, to my website, to my social media and everything. So going viral on the back of somebody else is probably better.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not posting wanting to go viral. I'm posting because I'm trying to, if you watch my content, I post a lot of like recipe ideas and things that you can do with our products. I'm posting that because a lot of people ask me, well, what can I do with a marshmallow fluff? So I try and think up ideas and post those because that's what people want to see. And if one day we'll go viral, we'll go viral. You know, I'm not worried about it.
No, completely. And I think sometimes when people get so fixated on going viral,
Mhm.
it means that the content is actually of a pretty naff quality for your target audience.
Yeah.
If it's a happy accident or an accident, so it's actually really strong content and then it goes viral, great. Although, of course, you have the issue with when you go viral, the wrong people get served your content, and that's when you get the backlash. But when people have got that sole thing of, I've got to get in front of loads of people, it can be completely different content that misses the mark massively with the audience.
Yeah.
And that can then damage the people that actually pay your money, give you money, because you put something up and they think, what the hell is this?
Mm.
It's a real balance. And I've spoken to quite a few people who have gone viral for things and the kind of weird comments they get. And they think, well, it hasn't helped my business. Sometimes it does if it's bang on the audience or you've worked with a really great creator. But sometimes it can be very strange.
Yeah, and you look at some of the content that does go viral and you think, "What?" And you think, like, even whenever you read comments and stuff, you think that can't be good for the business, or it's a one-off, they go viral once and then they're chasing that again because it doesn't happen again. So it probably hasn't benefited them that much because people love that one piece of content and then switched off to the rest. So I think it's about creating content and engaging that your audience continually love and want to see. And I think it's really, really hard to crack that. Like, it's not easy. It takes a lot of research and consistency and being present to be able to work that out. And it's just, there's no easy way to do it.
No, no, I think you're absolutely right. And I know when people have got these quick fixes for social media because there aren't any.
No. And you see all these, like, there's a lot of this faceless digital media accounts popping up all over social media. Like, I gained 200,000 followers in a week, and this is how I
Mm.
done it. I'm like, no, you didn't. That is absolute nonsense. Like, it just doesn't happen, and people are buying these quick fix courses thinking that they're gonna achieve what, like, it's definitely unachievable. Definitely, definitely.
And then you get disappointed. If someone's bought that course because they are the issues that one has with one's ego
Yeah.
when something doesn't get loads and loads of likes and shares and follows, then they buy this fix and it doesn't fix it. It's going to just hurt all the more, but it's moving away from the focus of what social media should be about. Most people do not need hundreds of thousands of people to run a good business. They
No.
need really good people. That's
Yeah.
it.
And that's something that people say to me, like, especially other business owners, if you're at something, they'll say, "Oh, but you have so many followers." I'm like, followers are a number. Followers don't matter because if every single follower was spending £1 with you every month, you wouldn't need to put any content out. You
No.
wouldn't need to worry. People click follow and they forget, and it's about engaging those ones who actually do buy from you, who do actually genuinely want to see your content and engage with you. But having hundreds of thousands of followers whenever they're not doing anything, it just is silly. Like, there was a case of an influencer who had like 1 million followers or something, and they launched a clothing brand and sold one piece of clothing.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So, followers mean nothing, and
No.
in my eyes anyway.
It's that
Number.
connection.
Yeah, it's the vanity metrics, so to speak.
And going back to that community that you talked about earlier, that's
Mhm.
the key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, before I ask you all the places where we can find you online, in case people don't know, we need like a bat signal that's just like a s'more. What advice have you got for people who are small businesses who are maybe thinking of starting a small business or who are on that business journey?
Just go for it. Just trust your gut. Just go and do what you think is right. Do not listen to other people who may try and drag you down, who may try and talk you out of it. I actually put a post up this morning, which is quite relevant to that topic. And if I had to listen to people who laughed at me and who sniggered about my business behind my back and like all the other experiences at the start, I would not have carried on. But as I said in this post, it was those who supported me, who built me up, who bought from me, and who continue to. And yourself, you always have that gut feelings. I always say, trust your gut feeling.
Hmm. No, love that. And I have to say, whenever I haven't trusted my gut feeling, it's gone spectacularly wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Embarrassingly so, because you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, yeah. And it happens to us all. Sometimes you think, oh, I'll just do it anyway. And then you go, this is why you need to trust your gut. This is why.
Could not agree more. Well, Laura, tell us all the places we can find you and Smoralicious online.
So we have our own website, which is smoralicious.com, where you can find all our goodies. And we're on TikTok and Instagram, um, Facebook, which funny, Facebook is a strange one. It really is. Been reposting stuff from Instagram over to Facebook and it has been flying. Like reels have been going to 500,000 views, which is so strange. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't realize people still use Facebook.
No, I mean, loads of people use Facebook, but it's where your target audience are, particularly if you're just reposting. So do you, like, make it native, kinda take out the hashtags, take out the
Just put the post on Instagram and it just shares it directly to Facebook.
see, that shouldn't be as successful as that. It should, because usually, you're taught to make it native to do things, but,
Who knew?
you're breaking the mold. I love it.
Well, it's only from I started cross posting that it started happening, which is really strange. But yeah, we're on Facebook. I do use Pinterest sometimes, not very often because I find it quite difficult to navigate. But yeah, mostly Instagram and TikTok. And I
Yeah,
do
so I'm going to seek you out on TikTok as well. I know I follow you on Instagram because I keep seeing all these delicious things, and, like, what you've done with Easter eggs over the last few weeks. I mean, amazing, amazing. Uh,
already have ideas for next year to make them even better.
oh God, I can't wait for it. Actually, I'll be honest. I love anything sweet, so I'm here for it. Do you, obviously, with your business as well, you kind of work in seasons, I guess, or are you quite steady? Do you have, like, real peaks and troughs? I imagine, like, Easter's quite big for you because delicious sweet treats. Then you've got Christmas, I imagine, is big.
Yeah, obviously all the different holidays. So Valentine's was busy, Easter's always busy, Father's Day. Have stopped
Mm,
doing Mother's Day because men are not organized. Men are
mm,
not organized at all.
mm,
And they seem to leave things to last minute, whereas when women are shopping, they're buying for Father's Day. So
mm.
stop doing Mother's Day. Um then obviously over the summer, people are buying their treats for going camping. Halloween is a big one as well, and obviously Christmas, Black Friday. There's always something happening, but we are steady all year round.
So you don't really get any lulls when you think about, basically from February onwards, and,
No,
like, it's there's an event all the time that you're prepping for.
it's been busy. Like this year, January was unbelievable. January was as busy as Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't expect it. Obviously I am so grateful to be kept busy. And then you just had Valentine's, Easter, everything all in one go. Everything was very close together this year.
Yeah.
S- Yeah, but it's good. It keeps me busy.
Keeps you out of mischief, that's what I always say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm gonna go and examine your website in more detail now as
Thank
well. Because, yeah, I didn't realize about the flavored marshmallow fluff, so I'll go and look at that. Um,
Yeah, we flavored, and we're developing some new marshmallow flavors for pouches at the minute. So those are currently being done and being sent away for testing. So I'm hoping by September they'll be available to purchase some new um stable range to the range.
awesome. And a great way to support small business as well, so everybody wins.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been brilliant to talk all things marshmallow and business.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.